All right, diving in today, we're tackling mindfulness and meditation, specifically through this book, 10% Happier. And it's by Dan Harris, who is not like your typical meditation guru.
No, not at all.
This guy's a news anchor.
Yeah, he's a news anchor.
And he had a panic attack on live TV.
That's right.
So talk about a high pressure gig, you know. And that's actually what makes this whole thing so interesting, right? Because he kind of comes at it from this like very relatable place of being a super stressed out person who probably thought meditation was kind of woo woo, you know.
Absolutely. And I think his his background and his career really make it relatable to a lot of people who might be skeptical about mindfulness or meditation. Because it's like, if this guy who's like, in the trenches of the news world can find some value in it, then maybe there's something there for me too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have to admit, I was pretty skeptical too at first because, you hear meditation and you just picture like someone sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop, chanting Om. But like, one of the things that I really liked about this book is the premise that, you don't have to go all in and become some kind of Zen master. Even a 10% improvement in your well-being, that's like a huge win.
Yeah, and that's really what Harris emphasizes. It's like, you don't need a complete transformation. Even these small shifts, like a 10% increase in your happiness or your ability to manage stress, it can have these ripple effects. It impacts your work, your relationships. It just kind of changes your whole outlook. So he really debunks that myth that you have to like become a totally different person to benefit from meditation.
Okay. And he also brings in the science, right? He doesn't just like tell stories and say, oh, I felt better. He actually like looks at the research.
Yeah, totally. He delves into a lot of the research that's been done on mindfulness and its effects on, stress reduction, focus, even things like, compassion and empathy. And for example, he mentions a study where mindfulness practices actually reduced participants' stress hormone levels by 15%. So it's not just subjective, there's actual physiological changes happening.
Okay, that's fascinating. All right, so we've established that mindfulness, like, it can have real impacts. It's not just woo-woo, but like, I'm picturing our listeners right now, they're probably thinking, okay, great, but how do I do this? Like, where do I start?
Right, that's the big question. And that's where, Harris kind of breaks it down into these three key takeaways that he really emphasizes throughout the book. And they're all very practical and actionable steps that anyone can take, regardless of their background or their lifestyle.
Okay, all right. Give us the goods. What are these three magic ingredients?
So the first one is daily meditation. Even if it's just for a few minutes, like, starting small is key. There are tons of apps and resources out there that can guide you through it. You don't have to be, a master to just sit and focus on your breath for a few minutes each day.
Got it. Daily meditation.